Imagine a jewel so massive and bright that it casts a shadow on all others. A diamond that shines so brightly that it casts a shadow throughout the room. We're not talking about just any jewel here. This is the largest diamond ever discovered. This is more than just the story of a valuable stone. It is intertwined with the destinies of nations, the aspirations of monarchs and queens, and the unparalleled craftsmanship of jewelers, from its spectacular discovery in the heart of Africa to its transformation into the crown jewels of royalty. Kick back and relax as we reveal the mysteries of this unusual gem, which has captivated many for over a century. When thinking about gemstone history, the finding of the Cullinan Diamond in 1905 comes to mind immediately. This diamond represents wealth and mystery, and it's vital to remember that it was discovered. With its massive size and the drama that unfolded around its transformation, this enormous diamond, which had an initial weight of an incredible 3,106 carats, captivated the world from the time it was in its raw state until it was transformed into the exquisite jewels that now grace the British crown jewels and the royal family's personal collections. A staggering 1,055.89 carats of diamonds were retrieved from the Cullinan Diamond. These diamonds had 9 large stones as well as a large number of smaller brilliants. These stones were given to the famed Astor Diamond Company of Amsterdam, which was tasked with carefully cutting and polishing them. The diamond's remarkable size and complexity made this a watershed moment in gemology history. The most spectacular stones, Cullinan I and II, were worn as royal regalia. These stones were intended to represent both the power of the empire and Queen Victoria's enduring family legacy. The sovereign's scepter proudly carried Cullinan I, also known as the Great Star of Africa, while the imperial state crown proudly held Cullinan II, popularly known as the Lesser Star of Africa. The stones are more than just jewelry. They represent the timeless splendor of royal riches as well as the monarchy's uninterrupted bloodline. Individually magnificent, the Cullinan diamond stones that have survived are inextricably linked to the royal family's history. Queen Mary, who would later become a jewelry expert, had a big effect on the final resting place of these magnificent stones. The fact that she had a platinum chain made with some of the stones demonstrates the level of ingenuity and expertise that existed at the time. Despite the fact that it was a luxurious robe, Queen Elizabeth I rarely wore it in public. At one point, she made a hilarious remark about how impractical it was, saying, "It gets into the soup." Diamonds from the Cullinan mine are well known for more than just their brilliant look. Scientists have examined the geological processes that shape the Earth, and their discoveries shed light on these processes. In the 1960s, 2 little stones in the collection were examined, and they were discovered to be type Ead diamonds. This was because they had no nitrogen or other pollutants on their surfaces. Less than 2% of diamonds fall into this category, which is known for its colorlessness and exceptional clarity. Furthermore, the dispersal of the Cullinan stones represents an unusual convergence of politics, diplomacy, and personal ties that occurred in the early 20th century. As a result of these personal acts of devotion that also served as official gifts, Queen Mary, Queen Alexandra, and Edward VII were all linked in a complicated web of imperial and familial ties. The Cullinan Diamond's history is remarkable, beginning with its discovery in the Transvaal and concluding with its presentation to the coronets of British aristocracy. It is brimming with historical geopolitics, diplomatic complexity, and the appeal of a stunning diamond. The tale is set in the early 1900s when South Africa was prosperous and the British Empire was at its peak. It depicts the story of an era marked by exceptional acts of loyalty, imperial ambitions, and an insatiable human fascination for everything out of the usual. When Louis Botha, Transvaal's prime minister, first saw the Cullinan Diamond, he saw it as a massive emblem of the colony's devotion to King Edward VII and the British monarchy. Here's where the story starts. Botha proposed purchasing the diamond in order to bring it to the king, demonstrating incredible political intelligence and a great sense of national pride. This would not only deepen relations between the Transvaal and the British Empire, but it would also highlight their shared history and future goals. The idea sparked heated debate in the Legislative Council, and a final decision permitted the diamond to be purchased for a staggering £150,000. When adjusted to today's currency, this amount is an incredible 16 million British pounds. The incredible act of charity was made both spectacular and financially prudent by the implementation of a tax on mining income, which served to offset some of the expenses associated with its execution. The diamond was delivered to King Edward VII after official formalities were completed and a covert transaction was organized. The party hosted at Sandringham House to commemorate the king's 66th birthday drew an impressive crowd of European monarchs and aristocrats. King Edward VII accepted the diamond and made it an eternal heirloom of the crown. It was to be placed among the historic stones that represent the long history of the British monarchy. Jewelers Joseph Asher & Co., based in Amsterdam, were tasked with preparing the uncut Cullinan diamond for its royal destiny. This was a mission that required audacious vision and unrivaled diamond-cutting skills. During the diamond's covert trip to Amsterdam, which included the employment of decoys and covert transfers, the tremendous efforts required to acquire such a valuable stone were on full display. Joseph Asher sliced the Cullinan diamond, an amazing and technically outstanding feat. Asher faced the difficult challenge of isolating the diamond after a lengthy period of preparation and under the rising strain of expectations. The instant the first knife snapped, there was a buzzing sense of imminent disaster. However, a subsequent successful attempt fractured the stone cleanly along its cleavage plane, releasing stress and setting the framework for history. The Cullinan gems, which honor humanity's creative potential, were made employing this foundational technique, which was required for their manufacturing. The Asher Diamond Company, based in Amsterdam, took on the challenging task of cutting and polishing this gigantic stone. The operation would produce 9 large stones, as well as 96 lesser brilliants and shards. Despite the fact that this arrangement demonstrated the Asher family's skill and position, it also signaled the start of a mythical voyage that would link the Cullinan diamond to the history of several countries, including the history of the British royal family. The locations of the Cullinan stones tell a story about the personal memorials and strategic linkages that existed at the time. The majority of the gems were first stored in Amsterdam, with the exception of the 2 largest stones, Cullinan I and II, which were intended to form part of the crown gems. Despite the fact that Asher was compensated for his remarkable efforts, the majority of the diamonds remained in Amsterdam. South African officials presented Queen Mary with the remaining relics gathered in 1910. This was done to demonstrate imperial unity and personal regard. Not only did this gesture represent South Africa's ties to the British Empire, but it also marked the start of the stone's journey through the royal family's history. Queen Mary's remarkable taste in jewelry will always leave an imprint on the Cullinan diamond narrative. She had a good eye for beauty and oversaw the creation of a gorgeous platinum chain adorned with some of these exquisite stones. Queen Elizabeth II made light of the impracticality of this highly painted work of art, saying it had a tendency for getting in the soup. The captivating story emphasizes the delicate dance between the regal world of grandeur and the ordinary world of everyday living. The Cullinan diamond's scientific marvel elevates their allure to new heights. In the 1960s, 2 lesser-known stones from this collection were tested and discovered to be type E diamonds, which are exceptionally unusual because they contain no nitrogen impurities. This amazing discovery not only confirms their status as geological wonders, but also emphasizes their enormous historical significance. The Cullinans are among the world's most famous diamonds, and for good reason. They are colorless and very clear, making them one of the most amazing gemstones ever discovered. If you were captivated by the luminous story of this exceptional gem, don't forget to like it, share it with other gem aficionados, and subscribe for more interesting stories from across the world. See you in the next one.